Hey class, we're continuing in part 6 from the 20th to the 21st century, period of 1900 through 2020. The 1950s, fashion conformity. Influences on fashion. As the way of life changed, so did what people wore. The silent generation. The baby boom led to a popular increase and more interest in children's wear. The development of shopping malls emerged, replacing downtown department stores. America's wardrobe now incorporated more leisurely pieces. The young. Teddy Boys created independent fashions in Britain for young people. The style had an Edwardian flair, elongated, loose jackets with wide, padded shoulders and velvet collars. Trousers were narrow, tight, and short enough to show off their colored sock. Winkle pickers were shoes with exaggerated pointed toes, and the hair was worn long with sideburns and a ducktail at the back, also known as a DA. Teddy girls wore long gray jackets over tight, high necked black sweaters and black skirts. A high heeled feminine version of the winkle picker was worn with dark stockings. The U.S. Young men idolized rebellious Hollywood stars. So they wore jeans, white t shirts, leather jackets, and greased black hair to imitate them. Beatniks wore beards, ponytails, dirty sneakers, and peasant blouses. The poodle skirt was a full circle felt skirt with a poodle applique, which was worn by young girls. The skirt was worn with a white shirt, a scarf around the neck, ankle socks, and two-tone saddle shoes. Television. Pat Boone inspired white bucks. Elvis Presley inspired pompadours, and Davy Crockett inspired coonskin caps. Internationalism. Planes allowed people to easily move from one place to another. Travel abroad was increased. Through their exploration, travelers brought back fashion goods from countries that they visited. The fabric revolution. Nylon sparked the production of other synthetic fibers. Major synthetic fibers of the period included modacrylics, acrylics, polyesters, triacetate, and spandex. Synthetic fibers are easier to maintain, hence driving their popularity. Such fibers included drip dry fabrics as well as wash and wear fabrics. Textile Fiber Products Identification Act of 1960 required labels to identify the fiber contents and for the label to be affixed to the textile product. The changing couture. Originals are garments shown and sold by couture house. Do keep in mind that the term original does not mean that it is a one of a kind, but rather it is a piece that was created in the designer's establishment. Profits were made off of auxiliary products such as perfume rather than on haute couture. Prominent designers of the time included Chanel, Christian Dior, Cristobal Balenciaga, and Charles James. Chanel reopened her shop in 1954. She once again became a major force in couture. Known for her Chanel suit, which was made of solid or tweed fabric, a collarless jacket trimmed in a braid, patch pockets, and a slim skirt. This suit can be easily recognizable even to this day. Christian Dior was one of the most successful designers of the 1950s. Balenciaga, who is Spanish born, opened his first Paris establishment in 1937. His work showed a mastery of almost sculptural forms and shapes, and his styles were frequently well ahead of their time. Charles James was an American designer who was considered on par with Balenciaga. His costume house, Charles James Inc., in 1937, sculptured masterpieces such as the four-leaf clover and the butterfly evening dresses. He crafted his designs with complex seaming, luxurious fabrics, and complicated understructures. The American mass market. New York became the fashion center. Clothing originated and was manufactured and distributed throughout the U.S. to retailers by the American mass market. Department stores copied designers' clothing. They did this under an arrangement with the designer. Now, when an arrangement or an agreement or authorization was not given by the designer to produce copies of their clothing, this was considered design piracy, and the clothing was considered knockoffs. New centers of fashion design. Florence, Rome, London, Paris, New York, and California were considered fashion centers. Costume components for women. Garments. Undergarments were made of synthetic fibers that shaped the body without the uncomfortable boning. Waist cinchers became known as girdles or foundation garments. They were worn to narrow the waist. Brasiers were now known as bras and were available in a variety of styles. Dresses included maternity dresses that came into focus as a result of the baby boom and Lucille Ball's public pregnancy. Ballerina length dresses or cocktail dresses were popular. Shirt waist dresses was a fashion staple. This dress buttoned up the front and had a fitted waist and was available in a variety of sleeve and collar styles. Outdoor garments included jackets that ended above the waist, which were referred to as shorties or toppers. They were easily accommodated with wide skirts. Sportswear included your bolero-like cardigans that were called shrugs. Bermuda shorts were knee-length shorts, and paddle pushers were your mid-calf length pants. Clothing for active sports. Bikinis were two-piece bathing suits. Jacques Heim introduced the bikini. However, Lois Reard created the new version called the bikini. Sleepwear included nightgowns in a wide variety. Hair and headdress included the new look, which was a short hairstyle that was fashionable during the period, as well as the bouffant, which was popular during 1955. With the bouffant, the hair got larger and was teased and sprayed into place. Women also wore small and large hats. Footwear included sneakers, and the toes of shoes became more pointed and the heels were more narrowed. Accessories included short and long sleeve gloves. For jewelry, necklaces that fitted closely to the neck were worn, as well as bracelets, earrings, and costume jewelry. Cosmetics included your bright red lipstick with natural tone face makeup and eye makeup that was more pronounced after 1952. Pink or red nail polish was also worn. Silhouette changes. Balenciaga introduced the unfitted dress in 1954. Dior introduced the A-line cut dress in his 1955 collection. Blousins were full back suit styles. An A-line trapeze was an unfitted dress that was much like the chemise. Costume components for men. Garments. The gray flannel suit, which was considered the suit of a businessman, was popular. It was a single-breasted suit with less padding in the shoulders and a narrow fit. Dress shirts were created in a variety of colors. Continental suits had shorter jackets and they fitted closer through the torso, and the cutaway jacket front was rounded. Outdoor garments included coats that were now more narrow, that were cut either at the hip or the waist. Sportswear. The Ivy League look inspired sportswear styles. Chinos were khaki-colored, twill weave cotton trousers with a small buckle at the back. Leather button corduroy jackets in checked and plaid, as well as Indian Madras plaids, were worn. Clothing for active sports. Coats had trimmer, narrower lines. Casual coats were hip or waist length. Sleepwear. Pajamas were preferred. Hair and headdress. Crew cuts and flap tops were worn, as well as the pompadour with a ducktail or a DA in the back. Footwear included Oxford brogues and moccasins, as well as imported Italian shoes. Accessories included functional items such as wristwatches, handkerchiefs, umbrellas, and jewelry. Costume components for children. Infants and preschool children wore long pants made with gripper snap features or fasteners. These allowed for diapers to easily be changed. The knees of pants were also reinforced for children who were crawling in order to enable the garment to have a longer lifespan. Corduroy pants and overalls were also worn by both boys and girls. Girls, the silhouette mimicked that of women. Their dress styles had fitted bodices and full skirts. They had tailored shirts with Peter Pan collars. Knit polos, t-shirts, and other knit tops were also worn by girls. The hair was pulled back into a ponytail. For boys, they wore jeans and casual pants, specifically teenagers and young men. Ties and collared shirts were worn in formal settings. The hair was cropped short or worn in a crew cut. Girls and boys wore dress coats that copied that of men and women, and they also had a variety of jackets that were available for them to wear.